It's Weekend Update with Colin Jost and Michael Che.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone.
Welcome to Weekend Update. I'm Michael Che.
I'm Colin Jost. This week was filled with shocking allegations of misogyny and crude comments about women. And those were just the allegations against Ken Bone. The bigger story, of course, this week is that Donald Trump has been accused of a range of sexual misconduct by now 10 different women. For the truth is, they're still just allegations. This is America, and Trump is entitled to a defense. So let's hear him out.
When you looked at that horrible woman last night, she would not be my first choice, that I can tell you.
Wow. That wouldn't be my first choice for a defense. She wasn't your first choice. The problem is you weren't her choice, period. And what are you trying to tell us exactly? If you did find her more attractive, then you would have groped her? It's like telling your girlfriend, oh, come on, I would never cheat on you, baby. I don't have any good options right now. And by the way, we'd probably believe Trump more if while he talked, he wasn't groping the air the entire time.
Trump, of course, is claiming his accusers are only coming out now for fame and publicity. Yeah, that's every little girl's dream, to be forever known as the seventh woman groped by Donald Trump. He also believes these accusations are part of a conspiracy to rig the election. Only Donald Trump could have sex scandals, no political experience, poll at 0% with minorities, and still say, if I lose, it's rigged.
And then this morning, Trump tweeted, nothing ever happened with any of these women, totally made up nonsense. Nobody has more respect for women than me. Now, of course, we know when Trump tweets, he sometimes makes some typos, so maybe let's just correct that one at the end for him. Yeah. Nobody inspects women more than me. Yes, I got that. And now Republicans are worried that Trump's tanking so hard that they might actually lose control of the House, which could be the first time Trump's ever gotten white people evicted from a building.
It's pretty funny to watch Republicans jump off board on Trump now. Like, now? It took you till now? It's like when people tell me, you know who's talented is that Kendrick Lamar. And I'm like, do you think? But say what you will about Donald Trump, his supporters are sticking by him. There's still women on TV defending Donald Trump. How are these women so forgiving of Donald Trump? I once reposted a twerk video on Facebook and my own mother blocked me. There's people that love Donald Trump so much that they're willing to overlook these allegations, and I can understand that. Look, I'm a huge fan of Michael Jackson because of Thriller and Off the Wall. But that doesn't mean I can't admit that he's done some terrible things too. Like that Invincible album. Or that song he made with Eddie Murphy. What was that? It was almost as bad as that stuff he did to those kids.
Cool. Meanwhile, WikiLeaks released all these emails from Hillary's campaign, and no one's talking about them because the Trump stuff is so much more ridiculous. Who would have thought that mastermind hacker Julian Assange would do less damage than Access Hollywood's Billy Bush? And now, at this point, this whole election is like the movie Up. It got really sad really fast. And no matter who wins, we're going to still have to come together as a country after to deal with our problems. We can't just balloon our way out of it like this guy who, let's face it, is definitely a Trump supporter. And that's why it upset me when Bill Clinton came out and dismissed all Trump supporters as basic rednecks. Because after the election, when we go to war with Russia, the people we're going to ask to go and fight that war are the people you just called basic rednecks.
By the way, Bill, you're a little too old to be using that word basic. And yeah, if we have a war, I don't want a bunch of snarky liberals out there fighting for me with their good taste in skinny jeans. I want somebody that dresses like John Cena, listens to Nickelback, and has never met an Asian. That's who's gonna kick some ass. I'll call liberals when I want a pointed think piece.